Hi guys, it's Mary and today I'm filming a tag video. Surprisingly, I have been tagged by Dita over at Attic Diaries. I'm gonna leave a link to her channel down below. Thank you for tagging me. I do film tag videos even if I'm not tagged, but you know, it's always nice to be tagged in something. So yes, I believe this is called the 20 questions tag. I'm not sure though now that I'm thinking about it. But anyway, let's read the questions. So first is, how many books are too many for a series? And this is a hard question because I think, you know, it depends on the series, of course. I'm thinking about like the Outlander series. The books are too many, okay? I was enjoying the first like 4 books, I was really enjoying, and then it didn't go well after that. Yes, each book after that was sort of painful to go through, and I don't know why I kept on reading because, you know, I'm sort of attached to it. I do like the characters. It did infuriate me though, especially because it's so long, and each book is more than 1,000 pages long. So, and we're not even finished yet. We are currently, I think there are 8 books, and she's writing the 9th one, and but there's supposed to be 10. That's definitely too many. Especially when there's, you know, sometimes there's not much happening, and I mean, I do love descriptions, but sometimes it was not balanced at all. Like you would take 100 pages to go through a day, and then maybe in 2 pages you went through a week. And yes, I don't think that was the right way to go. But if I think about the Harry Potter series, when I was reading it, I was like, I wish there were a million more, and I was so sad when it finished that I wish there were more, although not now. Not now, please, J.K. Rowling, just don't touch Harry Potter any more than you already did. No, stop. I would say that probably the best number would be between like a trilogy and maybe 4 books, 4, 5. But again, it depends from the series. If it's well written and there's lots that happens, then of course more books, the more the merrier. Question 2 is, how do you feel about cliffhangers? And I do like cliffhangers. They get me very pumped and excited to read, but at the same time they don't last long because usually I have the other book in the series. I'm thinking we're talking about series here, right? So yeah, I do like cliffhangers as long as I have the other book to keep on reading, and that's why I don't read unfinished series. Not anymore. I cannot take cliffhangers, and also I forget everything, and I don't really want to go back and reread the whole thing when the new book comes out. So yeah. Hardcover or paperback? Definitely paperbacks. I used to prefer hardcovers. I mean, they do have an appeal, right? And when I was very young, I loved hardcovers, but they're so uncomfortable to read, so paperback it is. Favorite book? There's no way I can answer this question. I don't have a favorite book. I have several books that maybe I really love or that really shaped me as an individual, but I don't have a favorite book. Not now. Sorry. Question 5 is, love triangles, yes or no? And I used to be all the way no. I hated it. But now I don't mind. I mean, actually, the stories recently that I enjoyed the most, they revolve around the love triangle, actually. If it's well done, I cannot really tell you the terms in which, you know, what qualifies that as a well done love triangle. I don't know. But like, for example, the Neapolitan novels, the Neapolitan Quartet, I don't know how that's called, the Neapolitan novels, right? There is a love triangle there, and also in like You're My Pet, Kimi wa Petto, whatever, there's a love triangle there as well. So yes, I do enjoy it, I guess. Question 6 is, most recent book you could not finish. And this would be, it's actually not recent. I mean, it's the most recent, but it was back in January, I believe, and it was The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden, I think. And I wasn't really enjoying that. I wasn't enjoying the writing style. The characters were very plain, two-dimensional, very fairy tale-like again, but not in a good way. Yes, wasn't liking that one. A book you're currently reading would be Searching for Dragons by Patricia Red Oh Jesus, somebody told me how to pronounce her last name and I have already forgotten. Reed. I think it's Reed. Sorry. And this is the second book of the Enchanted Forest Chronicles. I'm not sure about this series. I thought it was a YA, but it feels like middle grade. And it's not that I don't like middle grade books. You know, there are some great middle grade books, but they tend to be too dull. And also the problem with this book is that I know, because the author says that herself, that the original book was actually the last book in this series. And then they wanted her to write more about the characters, so she had to like squeeze her brain to get more out of them and get 3 books before the book that she wrote. It's kind of mean to say, oh, I know these are just like filler books, but even if I didn't know that, they're just a bit dull. But I did want to get to the 4th one and see if that one, which is the original one, is any better. I don't know. I'll see what happens after I finish this one, if I will get on with the series or not. Last book you recommended would be Sitting Pretty by Rebecca Tosick. I give this book 5 stars. I talked about this in my previous video, my April wrap-up, and I loved it. This is about her and her disability, how that affects her, and it's just fundamental for everybody, I think, to help you see the world through different lenses. Yeah, so I talked about this one in my wrap-up. The oldest book you have read by publication date, and that would be, my friends, the Decameron by Giovanni Boccaccio. This is the English edition, but the Decameron is from 1350, but the print wasn't invented yet. So the first edition, like printed edition, was in 1470. I believe this is the oldest book that I actually read in the original ancient Italian. This book is fucking amazing, let me tell you that. But yes, it's a bit controversial, but it's, you know, if people study this, and I studied this in a university, there's a reason, you know. It's not like you can just read it and say, oh, I didn't like it, or, ooh, it was problematic. It has so many layers. I do want to get to the English translation, although I don't feel like it really, maybe the problem is also this, because when I'm thinking, if you translate this ancient Italian text into modern English, it just sounds wrong. It just sounds wrong. So I get where people are coming from when they get angry at this book, but I absolutely love this. And I am curious to check out the English version as well. The newest book I have read by publication date would be Luster by Raven Leilani, which was published in August 2020. So not that recent, but I don't read a lot of new releases, as you probably have noticed. So yeah, I did enjoy this. It surprised me mostly. So this one. My favorite author. So this is a tricky question because, again, I don't feel like I have a favorite author. Some authors that I really enjoy, I didn't read enough books by them to say that they're my favorites, like the Neapolitan novels, as I already mentioned them, by Elena Ferrante. I absolutely love them, but I just read, you know, those 4 books by her, and I didn't read anything else yet. I intend to read everything she wrote, so probably she could be possibly one of my favorite authors. But, you know, it's too early to tell. Also, Sarah Waters. I read only 2 of her books. I really enjoyed both of them. But again, she has the potential to be one of my favorite authors. Another could be Daphne du Maurier. I read actually 9 books by her. But the problem with du Maurier is that I really enjoyed like 2 of them. And the other ones were, yeah, good, but also not good. There were some highs, some lows. I wouldn't say that she's my favorite author. Buying or borrowing books? I would say buying books. I used to love going to the library. I would borrow books all the time. That was my main way of actually reading books when I was little. I used to go there every week, and I would get like 4 books a week I basically read the entire children's library of my little town. But also I felt like, I feel now that I would have loved to own like some of the books, because some of them I don't remember, and obviously I did buy the ones that I kept on borrowing over and over again. But at the same time, I feel like I have so many books that I love that I don't remember now. And also my problem is that at some point I switched and I started reading in the original English most of the books, because most of the books that I read were translated anyway. And so I stopped using the library, because our libraries don't have English books. They have like a couple of classics and that's it. So that's why I now mostly buy books. Question 14 is a book you dislike everyone seems to like. And this was hard because I don't feel like who are we talking about? Everyone else. Because if we're talking about people that have the same taste I have, then, you know, it would be something like, if I say I dislike the Fault in Our Stars, but of course there are lots of people that dislike that, especially the people that I feel like I have similar tastes to, so I don't think that counts. I would have to find a book that should be a book that I would enjoy, that would be a book that I would enjoy, but I didn't. But actually, I didn't actively dislike books that everybody else seems to love. Maybe I didn't like them as much. But I could say probably Isabel Allende as an author. I don't particularly love her books. Yes, I would probably say her, like Eva Luna. I didn't like that book, but again, I feel like there are people who didn't enjoy Eva Luna, of course. So I don't know, probably her. I don't like her that much. Sorry. Question 15 is bookmarks or dog ears, and definitely bookmarks. Although I am guilty of dog earing books. I will if I have to. It's not because, you know, I have to mark where I'm at, but usually it's because I want to annotate something and I don't have like pen or pencils, and so that's why I dog ear sometimes. I did, but then I try and usually put it back to normal. Yeah. I don't know if this redeems me. What else? Question 16, a book you can always reread. Definitely The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. I do reread this book every August. And it's just my ultimate reread, because it's short, it's quick, it's uplifting. Yeah, it has this quality that never bores me, and that doesn't really happen that frequently with books, I guess. And the same thing applies to the DiCaprio movie. Well, it's not the DiCaprio movie, it's the Baz Luhrmann. Is it Baz Luhrmann's movie? Sorry, that movie that I adore. And if I see that one on TV, I'm definitely going to watch it 100%. 17 is, can you read while listening to music? I could, but I don't like to do that. I usually, yes, especially if it's music with lyrics, then I would try and sing it. It could work, but again, I do want to be concentrated on the book that I'm reading, so I prefer silence. But if I'm really enthralled in the book, then whatever can happen and I wouldn't even notice, like music or explosions, I don't know. I wouldn't mind that, because if I'm really into the book, then I'm into the book. Question 18 is one point of view or multiple, and one point of view. I don't really usually enjoy multiple points of view. Yeah, that doesn't really work for me, and that's probably why I don't enjoy short stories as well. Although, of course, it depends from the book, but one point of view is my jam. 19 is, do you read a book in one sitting or over multiple days? I read books over multiple days. First of all, I don't have time to read books in one sitting, and I don't usually like to do that because it means that I read that book very fast, and that usually means that it doesn't stick with me that much. I love to spend multiple days on a book. Although, of course, it depends. If it's very short, like a children's book, for example, I don't mind reading it in one sitting, or like for example, the Heartstopper volumes, graphic novels. They're very quick, so in 20 minutes you're done. Obviously, I would read that one in one sitting. And the last question would be, who do you tag? And I'm not tagging anybody. I don't know who likes to do tags, and I don't know who already did this tag. I guess maybe lots of people did, but please, and I'm not saying just to say this, If you are doing this tag because you're watching this video, then let me know and I 100% will watch your video as well. That's it for today and I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!